Hi everyone, it's Blake with FishBait. In this video, we're going to take a look at the all-new Laserfiche Administration Hub in Laserfiche 12. We'll review what it does, how you configure it, and how it works. Let's go! In Laserfiche 12, Laserfiche has released the all-new Laserfiche Administration Hub. The Administration Hub provides a central location to see all your different Laserfiche servers and Laserfiche applications that are installed on each of those. It gives you an easy way to keep track of what's installed where, what versions of applications, operating systems, all of those types of things. So let's take a look at what we can do with this. You can see here on my screen that I have my server listed here, and I have different Laserfiche applications listed. We can see the addition of Windows Server right off the bat, the version, OS build. If I click on that, the details pane on the right side will pop out, and it will begin populating the server information for me. Here we can see that same operating system information. We also get our processor, memory, and storage information as well. So just a really quick glance at that. If we select one of the applications, we can see the information about those applications as well. So here with Directory Server, I can see the version, build, and the server that it's installed on, the default licensing site database information. So it gives us some information about SQL, and it also tells me if the Directory Server service is running. You'll notice that we have a check mark here. So again, that comes off the running status, so a really easy way to see if something's running or not. Laserfiche Forms, same thing. We get our version information, database information. You can see all three form services and see if those are running. Laserfiche Server gives us some repository information as well. And then Workflow, we get our workflow database information as well as our services. So you can see how this would be really useful trying to troubleshoot different issues, just getting a real quick glance at what the status of your environment is. You can also filter by what's running or what's unknown by these two tabs up here. So you can flip around between those. If I had multiple servers, those servers would be listed here individually with the applications that are installed on them. So next, let's go to the Logs tab. This part is really cool. Laserfiche is basically bringing in the event viewer logs for your different servers and their Laserfiche applications. So for example, we have our server dropdown here. If I had more than one Laserfiche server, those servers would be listed. I'd be able to choose one of them, and then I'd be able to choose the Laserfiche application for the logs that I want to see. So for example, if I want to see just the directory server logs, I can choose that, and now these are all of my directory server logs. I can click on one of these, so just like I was in the event viewer, and I can see the information about that. I can look at a certain date range. I can change the level that I want to look at. So by default, it's error and critical. So think about every time that you've been on a support call and someone has said, hey, let's go look at the log files for that. You've had to remote desktop into that server. You had to open Event Viewer. You had to drill down through the different folders and then finally select the log file. You don't have to do that anymore. You could come into the Administration Hub, and in a couple of clicks, you have your log files and you can be reviewing those different events that have been logged in there. I have heard in the future, one of the things that Laserfiche wants to look at doing is possibly adding the ability to export some of this information. So if you had a support case open or a support ticket with your solution provider, having an easy way to export this information from the Administration Hub. It's not a promise, but I do know that they were looking into it and trying to see if it was a possibility. So the next tab that we have here is the Support tab. And the information provided in here is completely customizable, and I'll show you where to do that here in a moment. But you could basically put the information about your Laserfiche solution provider in here, So you have that information with a click of a button to know who to contact or how to contact them. All right. So how does all of this work? So to begin with, there are a couple pieces that are installed with the Laserfiche Administration Hub. We have what's called the Administration Hub and the Administration Hub Agent. So the Administration Hub installs what's called the Hub Agent Controller Service, and then as well as the IIS websites that go along with it. So if we were to look in IIS, we can see that we have two hubs here for the admin hub, and that's where all that resides. And when you install it, you'll actually configure a couple of things very similar to when you install other web applications. It will ask you for the fully qualified domain name and an SSL certificate to attach to it. And so that's how that is. It's basically like the endpoint utilities. You will then also have the Administration Hub configuration. So the first thing that it's going to ask for in this configuration is your directory server. And you may be asking, why does it need to know what my directory server is? According to an answers post recently by Laserfiche personnel, the Administration Hub actually contacts the directory server to get a list of the servers and the applications from directory server. And so that's where it gets the initial information for that. So in some cases, you may see some servers listed here that you're not using. And you're wondering, why are they showing up on my list? Go check the Laserfiche directory server and go to applications and then machines and see if you have a server listed here that may no longer be in use. And what you can do is you can go into that server that's not being used anymore and delete it. And it may take a little while for it to update in the Administration Hub. There's a caching mechanism, so that can stay in that cache for a little while until the next refresh, but it should clear that out eventually. So that's the first piece. The next piece is that support information that I was talking about. So you can put support contact information in here, and that's what shows up on the support page. So hopefully that gives you a pretty good review of what the Laserfiche Administration Hub is with the initial release of Laserfiche 12. I do know that Laserfiche plans on expanding this, possibly with some diagrams and things like that, to show you how your applications and databases connect to each other, and that will probably be coming out in a later version. But if you've liked this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe with the button below. And until next time, keep phishing.